This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
It's precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Sabrina Zawahir. First, the headlines. State Minister Dr. Sudashini Fernandapillai says that treatment services at state hospitals are functioning as usual despite the trade union action. Another 65,000 doses of Russia's Sputnik V vaccine has arrived in Sri Lanka. Isolation in several areas was lifted. Sri Lanka's COVID death toll tops 2,000 with 101 new victims reported yesterday. The Geological Surveys and Mines Bureau can provide sand, gravel and granite needed to 13 large-scale government development projects without disruption. 5 preschools named Saubhagya Preschools will be built in each district. And in world news, 4 months jail for man who attacked French president. And in sports, the Indian cricket team visiting Sri Lanka next month has been named. And now the local news in detail. State Minister Dr. Sudashini Fernandapillai says that treatment services at state hospitals are functioning as usual despite the trade union action steered by some health trade unions. Only OPD services of several hospitals have been disrupted due to the trade union action. The All Ceylon Health Trade Union Federation has withdrawn from their duties effective from 7 a.m. until 12 noon today. Medical Laboratory Professionals Association, Government Nursing Officers Association, Public Health Inspectors Union, Family Health Service Officers Association and several other health trade unions have joined the token strike. Saman Ratna Priya, the head of Government Nursing Officers Association, said emergency and essential services would be provided to coronavirus-infected persons despite their trade union action. State Minister of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, Professor Channa Jayasumana, says that another 65,000 doses of Russia's Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine has arrived in Sri Lanka this morning. According to the State Minister, from the stocks that arrived today, 15,000 will be used as the second dose and 50,000 vaccines are to be administered to Kandy residents from today. The head of the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak, Army Commander General Shavendra Silva, said the isolation status imposed in several areas were lifted this morning. Isolation status imposed in following areas were lifted: Munragala District, Sevanagala Police Area, Kiriveva, Sevanagala Bahirava, Habarathalava, Haburugala, Mahagama and Indikola Palace Grama Niladhari divisions; Hambantota District, Angunukala Palace Police Area, Grama Niladhari Division; Trincomalee District, Kinya Police Area and Kurinchakani and Munnachakani Grama Niladhari Divisions; Nuarelia District, Lindula Police Area, St. Combs Estate; Batticaloa District, Katankudi Police Area, Nochimune Grama Niladhari Division; Kalutara District, Panadura South Police Area, Vijita Mavata of Nagura South Grama Niladhari Division; Gampaha District, Valivaria Police Area, Ethihegala Grama Niladhari Division and Mahabagya Police Area, Elathapilavala Navam Mahara Village. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
Continuing local news, Sri Lanka yesterday registered 101 more victims of COVID-19 as the death toll crossed the milestone of 2,000. This is reportedly the highest number of COVID-19 victims the country has confirmed in a single day. The latest fatalities have moved death toll from the virus infection to 2011, according to Epidemiology Unit's data. The Ministry of Health says that another 2,715 persons have tested positive for coronavirus yesterday. A total of 216,134 confirmed cases of coronavirus have been reported in Sri Lanka so far, while 31,986 patients are currently under medical care. Total number of COVID-19 recoveries stands at 182,238. Minister of Environment Mahinda Amaravira says that it is the responsibility of the Geological Surveys and Mines Bureau to provide sand, gravel and granite needed to 13 large-scale government development projects, including the Central Expressway project, without any shortage. The government suspends no development project due to the corona pandemic or any other disaster situation. The Bureau supplies these materials without causing any damage to the environment. Sri Lankan authorities have taken steps to investigate a possible oil leak from the sinking MV Express Pearl ship that caught fire on 20th May while anchorage at 9.5 nautical miles off Colombo Harbour. Suspicions of an oil leak have been raised after Sky News, citing satellite images, reported that there was a suspected oil patch around the ship. Minister of Environment Mahinda Amaravira said that the chairperson of the Marine Environment Protection Authority has informed him that a team from the MEPA had already been sent to the ship to investigate and obtain the relevant oil and water samples. However, the express feeders operators of the container ship Express Pearl Thursday confirmed that the situation on scene remains under observation with no signs of debris and no confirmed reports of fuel oil pollution as of 6 p.m. yesterday. That ends local news. Next up is the main news story.
Nobody looks for hotels like this. So why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank? Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
G7 leaders will agree to expand global COVID vaccine manufacturing to provide at least 1 billion doses to the world through sharing and financing schemes, Britain said yesterday. The UK, which is hosting the Big Powers gathering in southwest England, added it would donate at least 100 million surplus doses within the next year, including 5 million beginning in the coming weeks. The commitment follows growing calls for richer countries to step up their efforts to share COVID-19 shots with less developed nations, with charities warning the current situation is leading to vaccine apprehension. Britain, which has ordered for more than 400 million doses, has faced criticism for failing to begin making donations to poorer countries. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, people in the area say their drainage system from Anuradhapura, Bandaranayaka Mawatha, Kadapanaha trade complex to Kadadolaha area has been blocked. They say that as a result, mosquitoes are breeding in the wastewater collected in the area. People say it has become a severe threat to their health. This is for the attention of Anuradhapura Municipal Council health authorities and health officials. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news follows. The headlines of the world news. 4 months jail for man who attacked French president. Poorer nations more focused on sustainability. Dutch fine Czech crew remains at WW2 RAF bomber crash site. Now the world news in detail. A medieval combat enthusiast has been given 4 months in jail after he admitted slapping French President Emmanuel Macron. Damien Terrell told the court it was an act of impulse, but the prosecutor said it was a deliberate act of violence. The court heard that Terrell subscribed to right-wing or far-right politics and was close to the Yellow Vest movement. President Macron said the attack should not be trivialized but had to be kept in proportion. Developing nations put proportionately more of their research effort into sustainability than richer countries, a UNESCO study has revealed. The report, published every 5 years, tracks scientific research output. We want to know what development path countries are following and the challenges they face, explained UNESCO's Dr. Susan Shingons. The report also tracks progress towards the meeting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Dutch salvage workers have found some bone fragments and scraps of airmen's clothing in the debris of an RAF Wellington bomber shot down over the Netherlands in June 1941. The Wellington had a 6-man crew, 5 of whom died. It was downed by a German night fighter crashing at Nieuw-Drop, a village about 60 kilometers north of Amsterdam. It had been bombing the port of Bremen. The dig is a part of a wider Dutch project to find wartime crew's remains. That ends World News. Prior to concluding, the headlines of the World News once again. 4 months jail for man who attacked French president. Poorer nations more focused on sustainability. Dutch fine Czech crew remains at WW2 RAF bomber crash site. With that, we conclude the world news. Next up is the development news. Taking a look at the development news, State Minister Piyal Nishanta said that 5 preschools named Saubhagya preschools will be built at each district. 150 such preschools will be launched island-wide before the end of this year. He said each such preschool will be given 2.5 million rupees. He added that an allowance of 2,500 rupees will be given to the preschool teachers on the 17th of this month under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. That ends development news. Next up is the sports news. Taking a look at the sports news, the Indian cricket team visiting Sri Lanka has been named. The 20-member team has 5 uncapped players. Shikhar Dhawan leads the team while Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is the vice-captain. England bowler Ollie Robinson will miss Sussex's first 2 T20 Blast games as he takes a short break from cricket. The 27-year-old seamer was suspended from international cricket on Sunday after racist tweets he posted in 2012 and 2013 were shared online. He will miss Sussex matches against Gloucestershire and Hampshire on Friday and Saturday respectively. There is currently no indication when he will play again. That ends sports news. Next up is the business news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka stocks closed 0.29% higher on Wednesday, with Milster Corp and Lime Brewery and Distilleries pushing the ASPI up, brokers said. The Colombo benchmark all-share price index gained 22.6 points to close at 7,564.26. Turnover was 1.4 billion rupees, with 97 stocks gaining and 72 falling. That ends business news.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka's net monetary forex reserves had fallen to around 33% of the monetary base by April 2021, one of the lowest levels seen in over a decade as activist monetary policy intensified, official data show. Sri Lanka's net forex reserves last exceeded reserve money or the base rupee money supply in February 2015 when large volumes of liquidity was injected to keep call money rates at the bottom of the policy corridor as budget deteriorated under the 100-day program of the so-called Yahapalana administration. That ends Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Finally, it's a look at the weather report. Several spells of showers will occur in western, Sabragamua, central and northwestern provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Wind speed will be 30 to 40 kilometers in western slope of the central hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in Hambantota and Trincomalee districts, and wind speed can increase up to 50 kilometers per hour at times in these areas. That was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. State Minister Dr. Sudashini Fernandez says that treatment services at state hospitals are functioning as usual despite the trade union action. Another 65,000 doses of Russia's Sputnik V vaccine has arrived in Sri Lanka. Isolation in several areas was lifted. Sri Lanka's COVID death toll tops 2,000 with 101 new victims reported yesterday. The Geological Surveys and Mines Bureau can provide sand, gravel and granite needed to 13 large-scale government development projects without disruption. 5 preschools named Saubhagya preschools will be built in each district. With that, we conclude the news.